I used to be a slave, kept under the thumb of the master, the bastard that made me hunt down my own kin. How did he do that, you ask? With the living scar you see on my cheek, this horror that takes no more than a song sung by Master Dearest to control my very thoughts. But now the tables have turned. I broke my shackles, and when I finally find him, I will make the Master sing a very different kind of song.
Once I was a crusader for the Divine Order. I pledged my life to Lucian the Divine. The war changed everything. He sent me to save the elves I grew up amongst. I arrived too late. Lucian ordered the use of death fog against the Black Ring, annihilating everyone I once knew in the process. Now I'm a mercenary killer. And my next target is none other than Lucian's own son.
I was just thinking about someone I used to know. My cousin, the Queen, in fact. A tyrant. I tried to stop her, but things don't always go according to plan. She cast me out to a forgotten island, and made short work of my allies too. Lucky for me, I was able to commandeer a ship, and began a new life for myself, out on the high seas. Aye, but I hear that the Queen is at it again, and there's something darker behind her madcap schemes this time. If I don't stop her, I don't know who will.
All my life, I've been a performer, a musician, beloved and celebrated by all. But I have a secret. I'm also a playground for sprites and spirits and worse. The voice that rings inside me now is darker than any that came before. Caused a bunch of my fans to rip each other to pieces. But you can trust me. I've got this under control. Step 1, find out who or what is trying to take control of my mind. Step 2, make it sorry it ever tried.
Oh, don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world, trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
Famed, of course, for my unique red skin and unparalleled skills as a general of the House of War, I, the Red Prince, was raised within the vast palaces of the fabled Forbidden City. I was destined to become the next emperor. But my ambitions suffered a bit of a setback when I fell from grace for cavorting with demons. Now, I'm exiled and hunted by assassins. But I assure you, I remain undaunted and as determined as ever to claim my rightful throne.
is mine. I'll yield. Meet prepare. Almost try again. Glory is mine. Meet your maker. Glory is mine. Prepare yourself. I'm ready. I'll yield to none.
Almost got me that time.
Glory is mine.
Almost got me that time.
Oh,
Glory is mine.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
So, it wasn't a dream after all.
Not a very chatty fellow, are you?
Rubbish. stay. Freight or food?
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof... Did you expect a needle?
That click. This floor plate triggered something.
You there. Come here. Hey! Hey! Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never... A gentleman among...
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring Magister...
Is my shift over? Wait, you're no Magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face. Clever story. I should have known there'd be trouble.
prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his eyes...
Ah, freedom. I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did give my word I'd set you free, lad.
What would he have to gain by killing me? I need to keep my guard up.
Empty. Not the most elegant solution, was it? And I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up.
why you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs.
In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Is he? Oh well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
No lesions, no trauma. He was...
Don't you dare! If you violate the virtue of my carpet...
Index fingers pressed to her.
My word. You do so? Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to sauce. For good.
She frowns and peers at you closely, resting the back of one hand.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those sauce spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it. My, aren't we a meek little lamb? So let's just leave it for your own peace of mind.
Good gods. There's been a murder here.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalk followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow. We'll find out who did.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the past. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Thanks. Who?
Now, where did I leave my calipers?
Come on, please, no, sir.
You put a knuckle in it.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable, surely. I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
How dare you classify
classify this slop as food.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cat.
Snake eyes.
She chuckled.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one. I'm rolling dice, deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't you.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coin.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite...
Not the future, no. But I can read the past, in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay sleeping, you lay awake thinking of someone back home. You were reminiscing about the things you used to do together.
She pats you on the shoulder.
There, don't you worry. I don't...
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you...
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander, many.
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat. Ifan grins.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties.
Ifan performs an
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mezd. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire. I'm busy watching for clues.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallion. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eye.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning...
And? Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone. But there's more. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Squeeze!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great...
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news. No, you beautiful idiot. That wasn't any rat. It was the wheel. Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're... Pardon my beard. That means if we've been travelling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about...
Ah, so you've eyes as well as ears, eh? You'll go far, mate. Even here. No indeed, boy. But...
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
How dare you classify
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile.
things coming out of plague-stricken pigs?
You one of them? A Divine Order loyal. They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll...
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would of fetching. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Oh, goodness, no. And don't even mention the demon's testes that are turnips. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
Just as I thought. So, 3 questions asked. As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monk. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry. My slave, of course. Oh, but I see. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
You think me mad?
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Meanwhile...
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from... He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
What purpose did that serve? Was that Oh dear. I seem to have crossed some cultural taboo. You have my apology. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once. Ah, yes. Then my name is Fane. I am a scholar from... Well, I am a seeker. It is pleasurable to meet you. Is there? Where? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into them. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no interest in that. No. I want to know about the Celestial. This text tells me that they created all creatures. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful information. Now please, run along.
No amount of pestering will get...
It's a register, sir. Good, good. Magister, you faring okay so far? Glad to hear it. You head on in now. Well,
Till overboiling a bit of cabbage becomes a crime, I shall hold my head.
Do you know Losa?
It was one of them.
Ah, there you are. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused. What? What's so...
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the...
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and...
She turns to you.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You presume right. Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. As quickly as they came,
Good luck, Chief.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship.
There has been a murder.
Bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul, and I strongly suspect you know all about it.
standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor...
Yes, I did. But of course that...
She turns her head and looks you.
There are others whose lives must...
Good God! You there, sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close.
She reaches for her collar.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with...
Precise.
What's happened?
What happened? Water? What?
The lizard's eyes close. You shake the lizard by... Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground. His eyes flicker open.
Lucien?
Ifan cries out. The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathed. She doesn't.
No, not the final dark.
It's no use.
The dice rolled up.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a... The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor. You hear a...
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way. Not long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards. Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull!
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. The skeleton is quickly leaping.
No, no, no. What? It catches fire. It turns into must when wet. It cannot even resist acid. No.
The skeleton looks up and notices.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboat. Please, I was no more an elf than you. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed a mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her list. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands. Indeed. I would say good day.
The skeleton The marking on the door was painted. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply it doesn't budge. The door groans.
Something's breaking through! What in the hells are those things? Oh my gods, I need to get off this ship. Oh, no! Death mark! I need to get out of here now! Gods! By divine grace, who was that?
He eyes the collar circling your neck.
Another sorcerer! Like you don't know? Mutiny! Did that witch fix your collar too? Your lies.
And you thought Rivellon was flat.
Bishop Alexander, if Lucian were alive, what would he think of his son's divine order?
That means there's still a chance.
Children and dwarfs first, just like the old story.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes.
You said there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
Magister lies on the floor.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait! Void Woken!
These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary.
Let the games begin.
They who are about to triumph salute you.
I've faced worse.
Let's not tarry. This old tub is about to burst.
I hear something. It's Magister Siwan.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleed. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of blood, quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. Blood pours out from around the bandage. Magister Siwan reaches out to you, her hand flailing. It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tight.
It's ripping the ship apart!
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan. Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. My